Hello again and welcome to my channel. I'm Fraser from Metalworking in France. I've got a little project on this time round. Basically I've got to make some brackets for a farmer who's topper for his field. The brackets have just literally broken up. I think they've been repaired in the past, or new brackets have been made and they're not very substantial. He's given me the old brackets to work from. I'll show you those in a minute, and he also gave me some I-beam RSJ, small section RSJ that he was hoping that I could make the brackets with, but it's really not going to be substantial enough. So I'll let you see see how this goes, and we'll work on with it. Okay. As you can see, these brackets are a little worse for wear. They're not looking in very good nick at all. Obviously, this is why he wants me to make some new ones. They've been welded up before, not very well. Also, one of the pins is quite badly broken. Bent. As you can see, this one here is very, very bent. It's unlikely I'll be able to straighten it because it's quite a thick piece of bar. So I think I'll probably have to make a new one. This is the RSJ that the gentleman hoped I could make the brackets out of, but as you can see, it's quite thin wall. It's not really going to be substantial enough to make these brackets worthwhile. Okay, so we'll get on and make some new brackets, and hopefully they'll do the job properly. And I'll have to make a new pin as well. Well, as you can see, I've marked out the various shapes of the steel to make these brackets. I'm having to use an angle grinder to cut them out because there's so many different angles to work to. It's not really worth trying to set up the saw to do it. So it's a bit grindy, but then that's what you do with a grinder. So yeah, they're coming out okay, but I've had to speed it up a little bit so that so that we can grind them out quite well. It's also a bit noisy, so I've cut the volume down a bit, quite a bit on it. So that should be okay. It's coming out quite nice. Well, here we have all 8 pieces ready to make up the 2 brackets needed. I've pre-drilled them, so they're all ready to start welding up. The next part now is just for me to start welding these brackets up. I've already tacked them together so that it just saves a bit of time on this video. So I'll just start welding them up. Again, I've speeded it up a little bit. You can't really weld at that sort of speed really, but they're welding together quite nicely actually. The steel seems to be welding nicely. I'm not getting too much spatter, and the welds are looking fairly clean, so that's not bad at all actually. So I'm quite pleased with the way they're going. I just continue to watch this, and you can see where I'm welding the joints together, and I've chamfered all the joints so that they weld up quite nicely. So here I've started the manufacture of the pin. Put a centre drill in the end just so that I've got something to support the steel in the chuck. So here I am turning down the outside diameter of the pin. It's about 60mm long. It'll be 23mm diameter when it's finished. I don't take too heavy a cut. The bar itself is actually started off at about 45mm diameter. So to turn down to 23mm, I've got to take quite a bit off. But I don't like to take too heavy a cut on the lathe. I like to nurture it a little bit so that I'm not going to wear it out too quickly, hopefully. So I take about 2.5mm per cut, which reduces the diameter by approximately 5mm each time I take a cut. So and then a finishing cut of probably about 0.5 mm just to finish up the job. So now I've turned the bar round the other way in the chuck so that I can now turn down the diameter for the thread. We're going down to 22mm on this diameter, so I can put a fine thread on. It's 22mm diameter by 1.5mm pitch on the thread. You'll see when I start screw cutting that what it looks like, but again it's a little bit time consuming. Again, I can't take too much of a heavy cut. I've put the centre into the in the end just to steady it so that it can hold it quite nicely, keeps it nice and concentric while I'm cutting it, and we'll take that down, as I say, in little stages just till I get to the right sort of diameter. So it's machining down quite nicely, plenty of coolant on it to make sure it doesn't get too hot, and then I can take this out and cut the thread on it, so that's okay. And here I'm cutting the thread. As I said, like I said before, it's a 22mm by 1.5 thread. Rather than the standard 22mm is 2.5 pitch. But this is quite fine. Basically, a fine thread locks in better than a coarse thread. Coarse thread is stronger, but when you don't need the strength and you just need it to hold tight, it's a lot better to use fine thread. So here we have finished items. 2 new brackets, look a little bit better than the original ones, and 1 new pin. This pin here is a new one, but the other one is quite serviceable. It's still quite straight, so that's fine. Okay, so that's our 2 brackets. Looking quite majestic. There we have it, another little job completed. Looks pretty good to me, actually. Those brackets look nice. I just hope the rest of the machine looks as good. So that's ready to go out to my friend so he can get his field well, topped, basically. I think it's just a big grass field and he needs to cut it down, so it's a big topper on top of it, on the back of a tractor. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. It wasn't very long, but it's okay. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. So in the meantime, look out for more videos in the future. See you in the next one. Bye bye.